What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. We're doing some big things today, and I'm so happy to have you guys here watching. As always, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the channel. All the good stuff and things. I appreciate you all more than you know, but it is Saturday, and that means we've got some fresh jigs on the drop for you guys. So today we're going to be showing those. We don't unfortunately have any on the water footage. We've been a little preoccupied, A, making baits, B, working on a project that hopefully is going to be dropping next week. I'm really excited to show you guys that. It's going to be a ton of fun. That's all. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? No hints for you guys. Just know that something big's coming and that we've been putting a lot of work into it. So keep an eye out for that. You won't be able to miss it. But anyway, today's Saturday, which means we're dropping new jigs. And then we've also got some sneaky tips for you guys, because if we can't get on the water and show you guys how we're catching them and what we're using and, you know, whatever, we're gonna drop some sneaky juice for you guys. And so today's video, we're gonna be breaking down a couple sneaky trailer tips that maybe not so sneaky, but it makes a huge difference this time of year. So first and foremost, today looks like a dang gender reveal, all right? I didn't realize this until after I had them all made, but we've got, hold up. We've got a little bit of pink action and we've got a little bit of blue action. And when you put them together, it looks like we're announcing we're having a boy or a girl. That's not what we're doing today. Actually, today we're just dropping these. We're not announcing any kids, so that's great. But for today's two jigs, we've got some awesome colors for you. First one's gonna be Shad Dawn. This is an absolutely incredible little shad pattern. Pink has been all the rave of the industry this year. It's everywhere. You know, it started in Japan, it worked its way here. Everybody's throwing it. This is the deal, and it's catching a lot of fish. I threw it a bunch this year. I've never thrown it, and I really like it, you know. I take that back. A pink Senko or a Morning Dawn Senko is absolutely deadly. If you're not throwing it, throw it. But we're not going to get into that yet. That'll be a next spring tip for you guys. But anyway, Shad Dawn is an awesome color. It's got some purple in it. It's got a lot of pink, and it's got some silver in there. So it really does a good job mimicking those shad. Great in stained water, great in clear water. You can throw this pretty much whatever, but it's just our gaff swim jig there. It's got a 4/0 EWG BKK hook in it. This thing is sticky as they can ever be, but we've only got, I think, 22 of these dropping this week. So they're gonna go insanely fast, as they always do. I didn't wanna make too many. We wanna keep this fun. We wanna let them go quick there. So if you're watching this, go get them. We'll release more of these later. Again, right now, we're just playing around, seeing what does good. I'm sure you guys are gonna love these. So Shad Dawn is on the website. These are gonna be wicked. The next one, and my favorite, which we have a lot more of, is a color we're going to call Freak Gill. And this is a really neat one too, because it's got a lot of blue in it. It's got a lot of green pumpkin there, but that head is kind of that robin's egg blue there. And it's that same blue that you see on the gill plates of green sunfish and some of the other brim, you know. I don't know what you guys have down south, if they're pumpkin seeds or what that's called, but they're bright as hell, right? And we've got green sunfish here in the area I'm from. They've got that bright blue on their gill plates. They can get really colored up and they can look absolutely insane. So we wanted to kind of mimic that. We didn't want to make it too dark. I really like those lighter jig colors there. So we've got that bright blue head. We've got blue mixed throughout the skirt that's mixed in with flake and whatnot. And then we've got a little bit of white, chartreuse, and blue mixed in along in that accent there. So really wicked little jig. This thing's gonna be awesome in clear water. I just hit my mic. This thing's gonna be awesome in clear water. It's gonna be great in some dirtier water too, because that blue's gonna really stand out. So it doesn't really matter the water clarity. Check these things out. We've got a lot more of them. We've got, I think, 70 of these dropped on the website. So they'll go quick too. Everything's gonna go quick this week, and that's kind of the point. We didn't wanna have too much because we have a ton coming out next week there, boys and girls. So that's that. These are those two. These are going to be available in 1/4 ounce and 3/8 of an ounce. These are going to be available in 5/16 and 3/8 ounce there. So check those out. Both will be on the website. This is going to be our little gender reveal weekend package thing, even though there's no babies or no gender reveal. So whatever. I didn't realize that until after it's done. But that is that. Two sick looking jigs that are both going to catch fish, and they look different than so many other jigs on the market. That's why we're here. That's why we do these Saturday jig drops. As always, boys and girls, I have to say it every single video just to help you guys out, help you, help me, help everybody. make sure you join our mailing list. It's linked down in the subscription. Like and subscribe. We send 2 emails every single week, every Wednesday and Saturday. These emails let you know what sales we're running Wednesdays through Fridays, and Saturdays that email lets you know, hey, we've got a new YouTube video out and we've got a new drop. So be sure to check those out. I want to help you guys out. It's just an easier way to keep track of everything there because we've been dropping a lot of cool stuff and we've got a lot of cool stuff coming. We're growing like a weed and we are really going to start up in production here over the next course of the weeks. We've got some more surprises. We're going to talk about that when we get there. But the caveman era in LS Lures is pretty much over, which is so exciting. And I cannot thank you guys all enough. So thank you so much for that. I'm talking really fast right now. It's getting cold in here and I have an unbelievable amount to do tonight. So anyways, also for those of you who are wondering why the heck we're doing limited drops, you know, Hunter's just crazy and releasing all these colors. The biggest thing with this, guys, on the limited drops is I just want to give you guys options. You know, we've got our staples on the website, which are always selling out, but I really like, part of it's for me, I really like making new and fun colors. You know, I'm always tinkering, I'm always making myself stuff, and there's nothing better than getting stuff that no one else has and no one else really has access to. So these Saturday deals are just so you guys can get your hands on some baits that, A, we're not going to typically make. Like, I would love to have 1 million colors on the website. I just can't keep 1 million colors on the website. We have a hard enough time putting the stuff that we normally keep on the website on there. So I like making these little custom batches. I like getting you guys some stuff that's different so you can play around with it, see what you like. And if there's something that you want more of that we don't have, just zip me an email, okay? My email's down below or it's in the contact. It's somewhere. You can find my email all over the place. It's on the website. Zip me an email if there's something you want to see come back or if you need a couple. But it's a great way for you guys to build confidence. It's a great way to try a bunch of different colors, you know, like that Shad Dawn color or that Freak Gill there. I mean, there's some really, really cool stuff that we're coming out with, and it's a great way for you guys to see what you like, see what you don't like, and show the fish that are in your area something that not everyone's throwing, you know. So many jig companies are like, this is green pumpkin, and this is green pumpkin with some orange. And this is green pumpkin with a little bit of blue, and this is green pumpkin with some purple, and this is black and blue. And you know, that's great, and they all catch fish, but we want to give you guys some stuff that's a little bit different because I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, believe that sometimes if you can show those fish something that's just a little bit different, you're going to get a lot more bites than everybody else. And sometimes it is absolutely unbelievable how specific they can get with their taste. But we're done rambling. It seems like I'm always rambling, running my mouth in these videos. And some people don't like it, but that's okay. We're getting into the meat and potatoes. And that is going to be, it's cold out. We're going to be talking about the importance of scent on your trailers this video. So there's a couple sneaky tips that I've got up my sleeve we're going to hang on to for a little bit. We're going to release them a little bit later. There's some videos I really want to make with them. But for now, we're going to start with the basics before we get into the really sneaky stuff there. And that is going to be throwing, or at least my 2 favorite trailers that have a lot of scent. And it seems like when it gets cold, scent makes all the difference in the world, okay? So running some kind of power bait in the Chigger Craw or that Max scent in the Creature Hawg, these are my 2 favorite cold water jig trailers. And by cold water, I mean anytime the water's below, you know, upper 40s, mid 40s there, these absolutely shine. I don't know what it is about the cold water. I don't know if it's the bass having more time to look at your jig, if they have more time to study it. You know, more often than not, when the water does start to get really, really cold, you're looking for cleaner water. And so I don't know if the cleaner water in the scent really matters. All I know is that when the water drops below the high 40s, you know, right now we went out this morning for a little bit to film some content for something that we're coming out with here soon. I know the water temp was like 44 and we schwacked them using these trailers. So the first one I want to break down just a little bit, guys. Everyone knows it, everyone loves it. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but if you're not throwing it, you're missing out, and that is the Chigger Craw, okay? This is a pretty basic trailer. It's a do-nothing trailer, you know. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but when it's sitting on the bottom, it's not a Rage Craw, it's not anything insane, and that Chigger Craw is so plain, all right? And it'll work on absolutely every jig we have on the lineup. We caught them today on football jigs, we caught them on Little Wizards, we caught them on flipping jigs. I mean, you name it, this was the trailer all day there. So when the bite gets real tough and the water starts cooling down a little bit, I feel like that trailer works really well. It's very plain. I don't like spicing up my colors at all. I like running green pumpkin or I like running black and blue. So simplify it, but I mean, these things stink, and when the water gets really cold, I think that makes a big difference. So Chigger Craw, upper 40s, mid 40s is the way. Now, if the bite gets really, really tough, or the water's really cold, this is gonna be my go-to. This is the Berkley Creature Hawg, okay? It's a max scent trailer. It's gonna be a little bit softer and it doesn't hold up as well, but this thing is pretty much juicing with scent. It smells horrible, it tastes even worse. Don't ask me how I know that. But this trailer can do so many different things, and I'll show you guys here exactly how I like to rig it. So the first way that I like to rig it, I don't know if I've got a good trailer or a good jig on me. We've got this one random one here that I was tinkering around with. Okay, now this will work. All right, there's a couple sneaky ways to rig this too, guys, and I'm gonna go over here. The first one, first of all, the first rule of thumb with these, when you're fishing that colder water, never, ever, ever run this whole thing, okay? It doesn't matter really what the trailer is that I'm running. I always like to bite down a little bit. I don't want to put this in my mouth in front of you guys because I'm gonna make a weird face. But the first thing you can do is I normally like to take, I don't know, 1/2 inch off, a little over 1/4 inch off, but I like to leave it to where there's just, it's a better size and it fits on the back of a jig a little bit better. So the first thing you guys can do with this is you can take whatever jig you want, this is a little wizard, and you can slide it up on the back of that to where that trailer sits right on there. You've got a lot of bulk. It's bigger. So if you're targeting bigger fish, you're targeting largemouth, or the bite's a little bit better, you know, it doesn't seem like they matter or it matters. Always go with this first, okay? Now, if they're not biting it or you're really having some issues, there's two other options for that. The first one, and this is gonna look kind of ugly, but the first thing I like to do is I will take my scissors on that max scent and I will start shaving the sides of it there. So I'll take that, and the beauty of a pair of scissors is I can make pretty much any plastic I want look like whatever I want. So now all of a sudden, it's not quite as bulky. I mean, it's really dumb and simple, and you're gonna go, oh, that's crazy, Hunter, but there's not very many people that do that, you know? So if I wanna take this trailer that really smells horrible, and all of a sudden make it look like a completely different trailer, now the bulk is substantially less. It's gonna match that smaller jig a lot better. And the fish don't care. They don't really care if the ribs look different. They don't care if it looks like it's been chopped on with a pair of scissors. Now all of a sudden, this is substantially slimmer, and you can make it as slim as you want, right? Sometimes I'll take this and I'll leave it on the jig, and you can come on that jig and really doctor it up there to where all of a sudden, I don't have it quite so thick anymore, you know? I can take it on the back, and I can take this, and I can trim these side claws off too if I want to. I can go ahead and I can pull these off, where now all of a sudden I have a really slim trailer that stinks. It's got a do-nothing trailer, like do-nothing kickers on the back. It doesn't have a ton of action, but that's what you want, right? When the water gets that cold, you want a jig that it smells terrible, it looks really natural, and when they look at it, it's not doing anything crazy, you know? Nothing's really moving that crazy when the water gets that cold, especially the crawdads and stuff. They're not running and dancing on the bottom there. So when it comes to your trailers, you don't have to run them exactly like they are, especially with that Creature Hawg. So don't be afraid to chop on it, trim on it a little bit, make it slimmer to match your jig trailer. Always start with it full, see if they want it that way. Some fisheries are kind of weird, they want it a little bit more bulky, but do not be afraid to take that Creature Hawg, trim it down just a little bit there, and make that bait look substantially thinner. Now, there's one more thing you can do with this. I don't really have any chigger craw hacks. That chigger craw, most of the time, I'm gonna bite one or two rungs of that off. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna slide it right on the back of that, and again, match this to the jig you're throwing. Right now I'm just using a wizard because it's what's in my hand, but more often than not, that sucker's just gonna sit right on the back there. Make sure it's fairly flat, pull on it, adjust it how you need to, but that is another really great option there, you know. It's simple, it's plain, it doesn't look too crazy. That's what you want. So, now that we're done with the chigger craw and the first two steps of the Creature Hawg, we need to talk about the next step. Now, these suckers are expensive, so I'm not gonna do that because they're what, $8 or $9 a pack there. But the next one and the final one is, and what you can do with these to make them last even longer is when the water temps get really cold and you're doing this with your Creature Hawgs, one thing that I've noticed that I can do to A, make them last longer, and B, get some bites when it gets really tough is, this looks like nothing, okay? This is a little piece of crap. Most guys are gonna throw this on the ground. What you can do, especially with a finesse jig, is I can take this and I can run it off the back of my trailer or my jig, and now all of a sudden I've pretty much got a chunk. You know, the bait's been tore up, you've got some fish on it, But as long as it sits back there, I'm running a max scent chunk. It's the exact same thing. It looks the same, and they will eat it like this. You know, it's the same deal. It's going to swivel on the back. It's not going to do a whole lot. It's going to disperse that scent into the water. So if you guys are trying to save a little bit of money, you're burning through Creature Hawgs like crazy because you're whacking on them, which we're going to be here in the next probably 2 months. I've got a couple sneaky spots around me that we'll catch them all year on this. But when it gets to that point, you're burning through them, or you're really trying to fish for some of those pressured fish there, slim that down, put that on the back, and you have a really awesome combo there. So that is the wisdom I've got for you guys as far as cold water trailers go. Run something that stinks, and it doesn't have to be power bait. You know, I've got power bait and then their max scent line here. If you've got a trailer that absolutely reeks, run it. And if you want to goo it up with your own scent, do it too. Like, I don't know if it really matters what the scent is. I've played around with a bunch of them and they've all worked pretty well for me. All I know is that I've gone out and tested it where I fish through an area with a jig that doesn't have any scent, and I don't get bit. And then I turn around immediately and fish back through and catch 4 or 5 on a jig that's got a trailer that reeks, you know, or I gooed it up with some kind of, you know, Bass Dynasty or Bang or whatever you like to use, right? Just spritz it up. And the second that jig really starts to stink, it just really sends them over the edge to where they're already looking at it. It's already sitting on the bottom. It just gets them to commit, open their mouth, suck it in, and you're going to boat a lot more fish there, guys. So that's what I've got for you. We've got a bunch of great content coming. Be sure you guys check out these 2 awesome colors. They're going to fly out of here in about 2 seconds. You guys know the drill. Sorry we don't have more this week. We've only got 90-something jigs dropping. But next week, we're going to have a very big surprise for you. And then, like I said, here in the upcoming future, especially with the holidays and stuff, our limited drops are going to be getting substantially bigger, where we're dropping 150, 200 jigs plus, you know, whatever your guys' demand is. I just don't want to make it too big right now to where it's, you know, so Hunter just dropped a crap ton of jigs and they'll sit there for the next couple weeks. So that's not what we want this about. We want this to be exciting. We want it to be fun for you guys. Want it to be something you look forward to every week to see if you can get your hands on them. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm done rambling. Have a great rest of your weekend. It's deer season here in Nebraska. So for all you guys going out, trying to hunt some big old bucks or doing whatever you're doing, stay safe, wear your hunter's orange, do something good for the fishing community this week, say something nice to somebody, do whatever, you know, but that's all I got. We'll see you guys on Tuesday for Tackle Talk Tuesday. Thank you so much.